Experience is a unique concept. It combines fine dining with historic landmarks. During Ramadan, the experience will take place in Al Ubba, Abdeen Palace, and Al Haramlik Palace, just to name a few locations. Today, I am joined by a chef, an entrepreneur, Dina El Sabban, founder and CEO of Mawlay Experience. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're a chef, an entrepreneur, you have an extensive CV. You've worked at the Four Seasons as a catering manager. What made you decide to branch out on your own?
I always had passion for food. I always loved being around food. I enjoyed a lot spending time in the kitchen with my grandma doing things. And then I started cooking for family and friends. And they said that my food and my menus are creative and yummy. Then I decided I'm gonna pursue my passion and work around food. So after my first master's degree in integrated marketing research, I decided to work in catering. Then after that, I decided I just don't want to be doing the practical part. I want to do studying, because when I do things, I do it right. So I went to study to be a chef, and while I was studying in Lyon, France. And while I was there, I started my second master's degree in culinary leadership and innovation. After I came back to Egypt, I worked as a catering manager for Four Seasons, and I did few pop-up dinners at my house and at my uncle's house. Then after that, COVID hit. So as you know, everyone was staying at home baking. I'm not into baking, honestly, but I was cooking a lot. I was inviting people over a lot, and I decided I had time to think about the passion that I have that I can use in a different way and start my own business. So this is how the whole thing of the seed of Mawlay started, because a lot of people, they unlock their passion during COVID time.
That's very true. Now, this is not an average dining experience. You're not just going to a restaurant or renting out an ordinary space. This is a love letter to Egypt's historic landmarks. So why this specific project, and how has it changed since you've thought of the idea?
I love the expression love letter, because honestly it is. I love this country and I love exploring things about Egypt. We have a lot of hidden gems, truly, nicely, amazingly hidden gems that people don't know about. And since I was young, my father used to take us on the weekends to different historical places that has a lot of culture, and he used to teach us a lot about the history of Egypt and about different places that a lot of people don't know about. Like I used to go back to school and tell my friends about places that we visit, and nobody knew about them. So I thought it was very unique, and I wanted to share this with others. But how the whole thing started was one day, when it was still COVID time, I was watching TV and I found that the Pharaoh's parade is happening.
The Golden Parade, yes.
Yes, the Golden Parade. The Pharaoh's Golden Parade is happening. And I got inspired about doing a night at the museum concept. Because at the time, the museum was opening in Ramadan, and I thought probably nobody's gonna go visit a museum during the fast in Ramadan during the morning. So my idea was to open the museum at night so people can have fitar and suhoor and have a tour to visit the museum after the fitar or before the suhoor. And it tied perfectly with the opening of the museum, because the first night of Mawlay ever was the opening night of the Mummies Hall at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization.
That's amazing. Now, we're talking about opening museums, palaces, offering this dining experience in very, very unique locations. What are the challenges that you've faced in executing something like this?
So a lot of challenges that I truly enjoy. From trying to find a location that fits our criteria, because it has to have culture and heritage and history in it. It has to be very exclusive. Like our locations, you can't just visit all year round. You can just go and have the experience at any time except the experience that is curated by Mawlay. And then getting approval for these locations, which is probably the hardest part. I've always got, forget about it, this is not gonna happen. Try to find another location, it's not gonna happen. And every time I insist and I work really hard until I get the location. I always get the locations that I want, even though it's, for some people, it was impossible. And then the menu development. Like the first 2 years, I did my own catering. The first 2 years, I was taking care of the front and the back of the house, which is not easy when you're catering for 500 plus per day, especially at the sites that we choose. Some of them, like the
There isn't a built-in kitchen.
There's no kitchen, And another challenge is like for the Citadel, it's a UNESCO site. So you have a lot of restrictions. You can't have fire, you can't have coal, there's a lot of restrictions. And you still have to have the food in perfect condition. The logistics and the daily operation. And then honestly, the biggest challenge is providing an unforgettable experience to our guests. Catering for all the different requirements and preferences. Trying to indulge their five senses, like the scent. We have our own scent. It's called Mawlay scent, that is only made for us. The food that I believe is delicious. The tour that is very educational, very intellectual. And this is the idea behind the whole concept, is giving people material that they're not just there for the fatar or the suhoor, they're there to learn something.
You nourish their minds, their souls, everything.
Exactly.
They leave truly satisfied.
Exactly. And the decor and the table setup and everything. So people get the whole experience. Like I get people telling me, we felt really good being at your place. We felt calm, we felt happy. We got an experience of a lifetime. We always wanted to access all these locations, but we couldn't because it's not easy.
You've become something of a trailblazer. The super exclusive locations that you worked so hard to unlock are now unlocked, and other people are putting their own experiences on them. They're hosting dinners there. What do you think this impact is like, and how do you hope to sort of carry it forward?
This makes me very proud. Looking at these locations after I leave and seeing all the international and local events happening there, it makes me very proud that I started, because as I told you before, it was impossible to do events in some of the places. So seeing other people...
You didn't intend for it to be an annual thing.
Exactly. So seeing other people being inspired and using these locations makes me really proud. Like I was the first one to set an eye on these places. I was the first one to work at these places, to open them for the duration of Ramadan, for example, and people follow.
There is something very challenging as well about doing the experience and never offering the same experience twice. You have people with massive expectations and then they don't know what to expect the coming year. So how is that for you? How have you addressed that challenge?
It's very hard. It's very hard because every year we have to meet people's expectations and exceed them. And that's not easy. Every time they have higher expectations. They want more. They want a different location. They want something that people call me before Ramadan, actually all year around, people keep asking, so what are you doing next? Where are you going next? Would like to know first. Like they're really, really curious and they want to know where I'm going. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen next.
I was about to ask if you know where the next experience is going to take place.
I really don't know. I really don't know. The problem is it's really hard. Every year we target different locations. We want to do a bigger thing. Like this year it's grander than ever. We have 4 beautiful palaces in Egypt. Which is
one in Alexandria as well.
Yes, actually 3 in Cairo and 1 in Alexandria. This is something that never happened before. Usually you do 1 event or 1 location per year because it's only 20 days. We operate only for 20 or 25 days maximum because Ramadan is all 30 days. So going to all these different locations, at the beginning I thought it's going to be fun. It's still fun, but it's very challenging.
Hard work.
Very hard, very hard. Like moving in one day, everything, moving the whole team, moving the whole setup, doing everything in just one day, and we're going to be moving from Cairo to Alexandria in only one day. I'm sure we're going to do it. I'm sure we're going to...
You're up to the challenge.
Yes, I'm sure we're going to meet people's expectations and exceed them.
I want to thank you so much for sharing your journey and your experiences with us. We look forward to the many great things you'll do in the future.
Thank you, my pleasure.